Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to explore another one of your philosophical inquiries from the depths of Reddit. So let's dive right in. Our question today is, what is existentialism? This question was posed by a user, and they follow up with, and why should I care? Excellent question, or rather excellent questions. Let's begin with the first one. What is existentialism? Existentialism is a philosophy that emphasizes individual existence, freedom, and responsibility. It is a way of thinking about life that focuses on the meaning or meanings we create for ourselves in an absurd world. Absurd, by the way, in the sense that the universe doesn't inherently have any meaning or value. We are simply here. That's the absurdity of it all. Now, existentialism isn't a neatly packaged system of ideas like some other philosophies. It's more of a collection of related themes and perspectives that have emerged over the centuries. Some key ideas include 1. Existence precedes essence. This is a famous line from Jean-Paul Sartre, one of the major figures in existentialist philosophy. It means that humans first exist and then we create our essence or what we are about through our actions and choices. We're not born with a predetermined nature or purpose. We make that up as we go along. 2. Freedom and responsibility. Existentialists emphasize our radical freedom to make choices and create our own values. But with this freedom comes a heavy dose of responsibility. We are responsible for creating our own happiness and meaning in a meaningless world. We can't blame others or circumstances for our unhappiness. 3. Authenticity. To be authentic, according to existentialist thought, means to live in accordance with our true selves and to take responsibility for the consequences of our choices. In other words, don't be someone else. Be yourself, whoever that is, and deal with the consequences. 4. Anguish, despair, and abandonment. Because existentialism is all about recognizing the absurdity of the human condition, it also acknowledges the negative feelings that come with it. Anguish arises from our awareness of our freedom and responsibility. Despair comes from realizing that we can't escape the absurdity of life. And abandonment stems from our lack of inherent value or meaning in a meaningless universe. Okay, so that's a quick overview of existentialism. Now, the second part of the question, why should I care? Well, here are 5 reasons why existentialism might be worth caring about. 1. It challenges traditional ways of thinking. Existentialism goes against the grain of many traditional philosophical and religious ideas. It rejects the notion that there is an objective, preordained meaning to life. Instead, it puts the onus on us to create our own meaning. This can be liberating, but it can also be challenging to those who are used to relying on external sources of meaning and authority. 2. It emphasizes personal freedom and responsibility. If existentialism is right, that we are radically free to make choices and create our own values, then it follows that we are also responsible for the consequences of those choices and values. This can be a powerful motivator for personal growth and self-improvement. We can't blame others or circumstances for our failures. It's up to us to make something of ourselves. 3. It encourages authenticity and self-awareness. Existentialism encourages us to be authentic to ourselves and to take responsibility for our choices. This requires a deep understanding of ourselves and our values. It's not always easy to be authentic, but it is often necessary if we want to be true to ourselves. 4. It helps us cope with the challenges of life. Life is full of suffering and absurdity. Existentialism offers a framework for understanding and coping with these challenges. By recognizing the absurdity of life, we can learn to embrace the challenges and even find meaning in them. 5. It inspires creativity and innovation. Many great works of art and literature have been inspired by existentialist themes. The same goes for many scientific advancements. When we are free to create our own meaning and values, we are also free to be creative in how we express ourselves and interact with the world around us. So those are just a few reasons why existentialism might be worth caring about. Ultimately, though, whether or not you care about existentialism is up to you. It's part of the freedom and responsibility that comes with being human. Now let's explore some objections to existentialism. The first objection is that existentialism is too abstract and difficult to understand. This is a fair point. Existentialist ideas can be quite abstract and challenging to grasp. This is especially true of the works of some of the major figures in existentialist philosophy, such as Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus. However, this difficulty is not necessarily a bad thing. Wrestling with difficult ideas can be a good thing. It can help us to grow intellectually and philosophically. Besides, existentialism isn't just about abstract ideas. It's also about how those ideas apply to our lives. And the great thing is that existentialist ideas can apply to all sorts of different situations and contexts. The second objection is that existentialism is too pessimistic. Existentialism is certainly not a philosophy that sugarcoats the difficulties of life. It acknowledges the absurdity, the anguish, the despair, and the abandonment that are part of the human condition. But this doesn't mean that it's inherently pessimistic. Yes, existentialism recognizes the negative aspects of life, but it also celebrates the freedom and responsibility that come with being human. It is up to us to make something of our lives despite the absurdity and meaninglessness of the universe. And that's not exactly a pessimistic view. The third objection is that existentialism is too individualistic. Existentialism focuses on the individual and their experience of the world. This can give the impression that it is a philosophy that is concerned only with the self and that it ignores the needs of others. However, this is not really the case. Sure, existentialism starts with the individual, but it doesn't stop there. The choices and actions of the individual have consequences for others. This is why existentialists emphasize authenticity and responsibility. If we are truly authentic, we will take into account the needs and perspectives of others when making decisions. We are not selfish or inconsiderate because we recognize that our actions affect more than just ourselves. The fourth objection is that existentialism is too vague. Existentialism is not a rigid system of ideas. Instead, it's a collection of related themes and perspectives. This can make it seem vague and imprecise. But again, this is not necessarily a bad thing. Vague and imprecise as it may be, existentialism still offers a valuable way of thinking about life. It's not a system, but that doesn't mean it's useless. And the fifth objection is that existentialism is too modern. Some people might say that existentialism is nothing new. These people are right in the sense that the concerns and themes of existentialism are as old as humanity itself. But existentialism as a distinct philosophical movement emerged in the 20th century. It was a response to the challenges and crises of modernity. This does not mean that the concerns and ideas of existentialism are limited to the modern era. They are just as relevant today as they were 100 years ago. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave us a comment down below with your thoughts on existentialism or any other topic that you'd like us to cover in a future episode. Also, if you liked this video, please consider subscribing and joining our community. Thanks again for watching and we'll see you next time.